Hello, yes, my name's Callum Ford. I'm here in the Zone. We're going to be talking to some folks in the Intergraph PP&M Solutions exhibition area. And first up, I'm going to be talking with John Banda. G'day, John.
Hi, nice to meet you, Callum.
John, you're looking after the Smartplant instrumentation here. What's new in 2014?
You know, there's a lot of exciting new features that are coming out in 2014. We've got the engineering editor, the query builder. These are really taking a different turn on what we had traditionally used as a browser module.
Right.
We've done enhancements for the to-do list, for integration, and we've even done even more with our as-built models for our owner-operator customers.
Great, okay. So what are some of the key challenges for SPI?
So we're addressing, task-based engineering. So much of what engineers do today cover a variety of instrumentation tasks, from I/O management, drawings, and hookup details. And we're trying to give our customers a user experience where they can get all of those benefits from one screen. Simple clicks, high efficiency, so they're getting everything they want in one place, the way they work, being able to sort, filter, and color code their queries and their work environment the way they need to.
Okay, that sounds great. One of the key things is obviously, is it going to be hard to upgrade to the new version?
Actually, no, it's easier than ever. I upgraded it myself. Seconds as compared to hours before. Testing was minimal. And for customers that have existing browsers that they've built before, they can actually import those into the new module very easily through a wizard feature. And they'll have access to those without missing any of the work they already put into the previous product versions.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. So when can we expect to see this?
So we're actually planning on issuing it by the end of the year.
Right.
November is the plan. We have the beta now, which I have here at the booth for anyone who wants to come and see it. And CB&I is actually doing a session on Wednesday with their experience with the beta. I believe that's on Wednesday at 4:30. It's session 2210.
Great stuff. Well, John, I hope you have a great show. Thanks very much. Thank you. Yes, well, I'm now over here with Joe Balmer. Joe, we're going to look at the Smart 3D stuff. Give us a bit of an introduction to yourself, and let's look at some of the issues that you're looking at today.
Thanks, Callum. My name is Joe Balmer. I'm responsible for product management of the structure and marine parts of the 3D application. Okay. And what I want to do today is introduce to you some of the new features in our 2014 R1 release.
Okay. I know a big issue with 3D over the past year or so has been performance, and I know you guys have been spending a lot of time looking at that. Can you give us some indications of what you've been looking at?
Yes, we've been working on performance in 3 key areas in the 2014 R1 release. We've been working on workspace load performance, large structure edit performance, and drawing performance. Okay. Testing at a customer site has shown workspace load improvements in the neighborhood of 65 to 70%. This is a really big improvement.
That's good.
We've seen similar, at the same customer site, we've seen similar improvements in the large structure edit performance, improvements ranging between 40 and 70%.
Right.
So this type of improvement should really improve your S3D user experience.
Okay, great. And so what are we looking at for the remainder of the year in terms of release, and any other features that are coming through?
Well, we have a whole new task environment in the 2014 R1 release. This is the civil task environment. In the initial release, the primary focus has been on effectively modeling ditches and trenches. We have some really good tools for that. You're able to select from a wide variety of ditch or trench cross-sections from the catalog, and then route that cross-section along a path, a 3D path through the model. Right. One of the key to this ditch and trench functionality is the geometric constructions we use to model the complex underlying geometry.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah. Another key feature is you can add branch trenches off the main trench, and it'll automatically update, create openings, etc.
Okay.
And between the property pages, the placement methods, and the 3D sketching tool to create the path, these ditches and trenches are really easy to modify. Okay. And modifications, of course, update related trenches and update properties and volumes, etc.
Okay, sounds great. So people can come down here, have a look at that on the screen?
Right. One more key feature we want to mention is we've added some tools to help for administrators, to make it easier for administrators to both support their projects and their users. One of these tools is a user interface to update and create drawing labels. Right. So this should improve your drawing configuration times by about 25%.
Great. Okay.
So
fantastic.
really, we have something for everybody.
You
Performance for users, tools for admins, something for everybody.
Great. Well, Joe, that sounds fantastic. Have a great show.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, well, I'm over here now with Mike Montgomery. Mike, we're going to talk about systems completions. Can you just give me a bit of a background on what is systems completions?
Okay, systems completion is the process of going from construction into operations. So it includes things like mechanical completions, pre-commissioning, handover, and startup.
Okay, so what are some of the key challenges in systems completions?
Well, traditionally, the challenges have been getting good quality information that you can use to develop your work. And then, some other things like punch list management, tracking information, and making sure that things get done according to design.
Right, okay. And I've heard that there's some of the key challenges around work packaging. Is that something that systems completions addresses?
Sure, that goes back to the quality of information issue. Inside SPO, we have a way of managing the information to make sure that the information stays up to date and is good quality. And so we build on top of that all of the work processes necessary to do systems completion. So that includes the ability to drag and drop documents and tags into a work package and then attach those to a workflow so they automatically get distributed to the people in the field. Okay, so
I've heard that there's a major issue with idle time. Is that something for the owner-operators, or is that for others as well?
No, that's the waiting time is an issue for owner-operators, but also EPCs. It's a major issue for EPCs, and a lot of times it's just looking for the information you need, finding the right information. But then there's other things like just the desk-to-desk time. Having to wait for the weekly meeting even, and you multiply that across all the people that are working on a project, it's quite a bit of time.
Right, okay, that sounds great. So what can we expect to see here at the Zone?
What we have is, we have a demonstration center. We do some brief demonstrations. We present what the product looks like so people can see it. And we also have some AVIs running.
Okay,
and so,
that sounds great. Okay, Mike, it's fantastic. Have a great show.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you. Okay, well, I'm over here with Martin Hawkins, and we're going to talk about management of unstructured data. And this is something with the Smartplant Fusion product that is pretty exciting. Martin, can you just tell us a little bit more about what are the challenges that Smartplant Fusion is addressing?
The challenges that we're finding is that a lot of companies have got a lot of data scattered around in many, many files, and they haven't got a structured, they haven't got a database. These files are in Joe's folder, in Harry's folder, so there's many, many duplicates around the system. And we've got a system that is now looking at trying to bring all of that data into a system and structuring it in a kind of adding relationships, and also tying it into laser scans, things like that. So it's quite exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. So coming down to the Zone here, what can people expect to see? Are you going to show them basically an overview of the system?
Overview of the system, so we'll be looking at rapid data capture. So we're showing how to set up all of the patterns to actually define all your files and what each file part means. So for example, we got a file may consist of 1409-10-001, where the 1409 represents the project, 10 represents the discipline, 001 represents the sequence number. So that's the first stage. We set up these patterns to identify the different parts of the file. Then we go through and we load up all of the files. These files are then connected into the system, and then we may bring in laser scans like the one on the screen here, and we connect up the tags that we extract from the various documents to the laser scan, to the data sheets, to the P&IDs, and then we bring all that information back to the user so that they can now see all of that information straight away. So it's basically rapid data capture. If there are duplicates, which there are in many, many cases, then we got a special module, a module here that is dedicated to actually resolving the duplicates, so we can see side-by-side comparisons, we can do overlays, and once we've seen the differences, then we can actually eliminate which is the bad drawings and then take the good drawings forward.
Sounds great. I guess the biggest question of all is, when is it going to be released?
It's been released this week.
Fantastic.
So so it's been a big struggle to get it here, but we're here now.
Well, that's fantastic. Martin, I know you're going to have a great show. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here with Bill Kriego at Smartplant Foundation. Bill, what can we expect to see new for 2014 from Smartplant Foundation?
Well, first off, thanks, Colin, for stopping by. What we've done with Foundation this year is really put a focus on the customer, the user experience to the software, and allowing them to have a better and faster, more productive interfacing to the software.
Okay, fantastic. Now I've been hearing a lot of buzz around BI, business information. What's coming with that? What is that?
The business intelligence module, not just the user base utilizes the system to get the data. Right. The admins and the management must have a fast, effective way of taking a snapshot of what's going on, right, and being able to come in and graphically seeing the data, and more powerful, to interact with that data in the system brings the management of the system to a much higher level.
That's fantastic. So people coming down to the zone, what can they expect to see? Obviously that. What else are you going to be showing them?
Well, we plan on doing the new MTR, which is our master tag registry.
Right.
Show you what the VTL is going to look like in the upcoming release.
Okay.
We also got, of course, the 15 release of Smartplant Foundation, and really anything the customer really wants to look at. We want to show them what we could give them right now.
Right, okay. Well, Bill, that sounds fantastic. Have a great show.
Hey, you too.
Thank you.
You too.
So I'm going to hand over now to Sangeeta Rivera, who's looking after the Intergraph CADWorks and Analysis Solutions, and she's going to show you some of the features and functions over there. Thank you.
Thanks, Kel. I'm going to be talking to a few more people here in the PP&M zone. I'm standing here today with Mandeep Singh, the product manager of Caesar 2, the de facto standard in pipe stress analysis. Mandeep?
Hi, Sangeeta, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, great. I have a few questions for you. I've heard rave reviews of this latest release of Caesar 2, and I would love to hear a little bit more about what your customers are currently enjoying on the latest version.
Yes, a good question. We had a release in April and we got a very good reviews from customers. They are really excited. Not only we delivered the latest updated codes from ASME, but we also delivered many graphical editing capabilities, be it graphically changing properties in the model, or also measure distances in the model to verify the model, validate the model. So these are the things our users have wanted. So we did that, but not only we stopped there, we listened to them, lots of small things, big things, usability things, enhancements to make their job easy. The things that they do over and over again, we simplified it so that they can be much more productive in their job. And we did everything. If you know, last year we released Caesar Nuclear, which is compliant with ASME and QA1 QA standard. So this release also conforms to the stringent ASME and QA1 standard. So we are very proud of it, and we're getting good reviews from users.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mandeep. Now veering off just a little bit, with the recent acquisition of GT Strudel, what does this mean for Caesar 2, if anything at all?
Yes, that's a very appropriate question. GT Strudel, just like Caesar 2, is an analysis software for structures. Integration is very important for Intergraph and HxGN. So last year we have delivered integration with Smartplant. Last year we delivered integration with finite element analysis solutions with FEA tools. We have been working with Lysiga for support design. And right now we are engaging customers to know more about the workflow between piping and structures. We have identified some points of pain points for customers that we can resolve. We want to go further, and so we'll be doing research at the conference and make contacts, and then we can deliver a solution appropriate for their needs.
That sounds awesome. Thank you, Mandeep. The future sounds bright. Always a pleasure speaking.
Thank you. Have a good conference.
I'm here with Joseph Dixon, the product manager of CADWorks, our plant design suite. Joe, I have been itching to talk to you ever since Rick Allen's keynote yesterday. We've heard the announcement. We're all looking forward to it. Tell me a little bit more about Intergraph Freeview.
Very good. Intergraph Freeview. Intergraph Freeview, we've been working on it for a while. It's an iPad app that we can use to view models, both in CADWorks and Smartplant models, directly using the iPad. Customers can now take their models with them mobily and be able to use these for all kinds of purposes, for model review and other things. So, very good.
Exciting.
I actually have a picture of it right here.
Do you?
Up right there.
That's what we can look forward to.
That's what we can look forward to, and it'll be out this week.
Okay, great.
So look for it on the iPad app.
I will be. So now, it feels a little silly to ask you this, but since you just told me what's next for CADWorks. However, could you tell me a little bit more about something a little more long-term?
Long-term, very good. So over the past several years, we've worked primarily on the piping part of CADWorks. We put a lot of effort, a lot of development resources into our piping, got those up to speed, and now we're starting to focus on the other areas of CADWorks that really benefit our customers. Some of those areas are the P&ID and the steel. Those are going to be our primary focuses over the next several years to bring those up to speed with the piping modeling that we have right now.
Very exciting. Joe, a pleasure.
Hey,
thank you for taking the time.
It's always a pleasure, Sangeeta. Thank you.
Next, I'll be talking with Scott Mayu, the Technical Director of PV Elite and Tank, our pressure vessel and storage tank design. Scott, how are you?
I'm fine, Sangeeta. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I've heard you've had 2 great releases recently, PV Elite 2014 and Tank 2014. Could you tell me a little bit more about them and what the thought process was behind these upgrades?
Oh, sure, Sangeeta. One of the things that that we strive to do is have a new version of each software product each year. And one of the major and most important things that we do is to have code updates in the software. Those code updates drive the development and keep everybody in line with the most current and legal developments that we need to have in the software, actually.
Very important.
So those are very, very important things.
Okay, great. Now, I've heard a couple of rumors. I'm going to throw a few words out there, and I'd like you to connect them for me, please.
Okay, sure.
PV Elite, international markets. And then, secondly, Tank, API 620.
Sure. One of the things that, we have thousands of customers all over the globe, Sangeeta, and internationalization and providing capabilities for our international users is very important. So one of the things that we're going to be working on is extending our capabilities in those areas with things like international materials, Japanese materials, for example, and other international wind and seismic codes to go into our software. And Tank, as you mentioned, one of the big things that we're working towards is API 620 analysis, which is a little bit higher pressure analysis than the API 650 analysis that we currently have in Tank. So we're going to be extending our software capability for our users, so to help them get their projects done and be more profitable.
Exciting stuff.
Very, very exciting, and we're looking forward to all these new developments.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me, Scott.
Oh, anytime, Sangeeta.
And finally, I'm speaking with Dr. Leroy Emkin, the Technical Director of GT Strudel, the newest member of Intergraph family. Dr. Emkin, how are you today?
Pleasure to meet you, Sangeeta.
Likewise. Sir, I have a few questions for you.
Alrighty.
With the acquisition of GT Strudel by Intergraph, could you tell me a little bit about the synergy that exists and perhaps might be developed in the future between GT Strudel and existing Intergraph products like CADWorks, Caesar 2, and Smart 3D?
Well, GT Strudel is the newest family of the CADWorks, Caesar 2, PV Elite, and Tank family of products. And I think the best synergy that I can describe are the interfacing capabilities. Right now, Smart 3D has an interface to GT Strudel through the CIS2 neutral file interface, and we're planning to develop interfaces between Caesar 2 pipe stress analysis and the CADWorks CAD system. And at that point, once we have those interfaces developed, we'll have a very comprehensive synergy that involves Smart 3D, CADWorks, Caesar 2, and GT Strudel. We think that will be very powerful for the industry.
Great, all right. Could you tell me a little bit about the key attributes that GT Strudel brings to the marketplace?
There are many important attributes, but I think the most important would be the attribute of quality, the attribute of technology, and the attribute of performance of our solvers. In the area of quality, GT Strudel is the only civil structural engineering software product that is conformed to the nuclear industry safety critical software quality standards, both for nuclear power and nuclear defense industries. We conform to the ASME NQA1 standards, the NRC's 10 CFR 50 Appendix B standards, and the NRC's 10 CFR 20 standards. In addition to that, we're required to execute a large number of verification and validation test problems to prove the quality of the software, and GT Strudel is benchmarked against 5,000 test problems to demonstrate its high quality. The second attribute is associated with the broad range of functional capabilities in the software. And that's represented by the documentation, the user documentation that we have for GT Strudel. There are 34 volumes of user documentation over 14,000 pages that describe a very broad range and depth of technology that we bring into the family of products, CADWorks, CAESA2, PV Elite, Tank, and now GT Strudel.
That is incredible. Okay, last question because we're running out of time. But while you've told me a little bit about the key attributes, what would you say, in your opinion, are 3 key features that bring the most value to structural engineers today?
Well, you know, it very much depends on the kinds of structural engineering being performed by any particular structural engineer in the industry in which they operate. But among some of the key features would be associated with the linear and nonlinear analysis capabilities, especially those that are required by the 13th and 14th editions of the AISC steel design specifications, the seismic analysis and time history dynamic analysis capabilities, which are extremely high performance and very, very accurate, the base plate analysis, a feature of GT Strudel, which is commonly used in the nuclear industry, and the code, the design code provisions to which we conform. GT Strudel has implemented a variety of design code specifications, both US and international design codes, and we provide very comprehensive and detailed documentation describing precisely how we have implemented those design code specification code checks. These are extremely critical for an engineer which is by itself a safety critical profession, and so the results of structural engineering are extremely important to produce in a very high quality, accurate way, and GT Strudel will deliver that.
Great. Dr. Emkin, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, and we're very excited that GT Strudel has joined our family. So thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, PPM, in the Zone today.